right now, this is going to be the most unique method in power balance testing that anybody has ever seen. I have found it to be accurate. I know many people out there are going to argue about it. They're going to say it's not possible to do this. But I'm going to show you a new, unique way of doing it using a leak down tester. First things first, you can see the leak down tester. It's kind of not really gauging very well. The gauge is not centered right. So you can kind of get the gauge to come down. I always kind of, it's like tapping on the gauge. You can go like that and you can get the gauges to settle. Once I got the gauges to settle, I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to show you how, through testing only one cylinder, how we can test all of the cylinders. I'm going to assume all the spark plugs are pulled. We're just going to make that assumption. That's all we're going to do. But realistically, we only have one spark plug pulled because that's all we need to do this demonstration. Moving on, we have this on 0. Want to make sure we get a good read on that. And this is on 100%. Now watch what happens next. I'm going to plug this into cylinder number 1. Cylinder number 1, I'm going to plug this in. Now again, power balance, looking at the power or the compressibility of each cylinder. I want to make sure that each cylinder is compressing about the same. If it is, then the power balance is about the same. But if this cylinder is compressing more than this cylinder or less than this cylinder, then the power balance is not the same. It's out of whack, so to speak. So making an example of this, let's say this compressed better than this, then I would get more compression out of here and less compression out of here. So this is called, again, a power balance test. So here we go. Starting with the leak down tester, I've plugged the leak down tester into cylinder number 1, and again, we're just assuming all the spark plugs are pulled, just for sake of argument. I've connected the leak down tester up. I'm going to plug the leak down tester in now, and I'm only going to put in about 30 pounds. That's about it. Maybe 40, maybe. That's about all. With that in mind, I am going to put that power gauge right there, and now comes the real mystifying power balance test. I'm going to take a torque wrench. I'm going to turn it down to 10 foot-pounds. Now this is a guess, so stay with me. Now I'm going to start torquing up this engine at the direction it turns, which is to the right, clockwise, and I'm going to watch this outgoing gauge. This is the air going in, this is the air going out. Watch this gauge, and when this needle reaches its highest point, I'm going to set my torque wrench. So here we go. Moving on, I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep going, and you can see the strokes here. This is my exhaust, this is my intake valve. You can see what stroke I'm on right now. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going until I get that needle to come up a little bit. Now it will come up, so bear with me. Okay, here it goes. Now watch that needle. It's going to go up again. I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to add some more air to it just to get a little bit more resistance. I want to get it up into the moderate range if I can. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now, can you hear it torque? Can you hear that torque wrench? So I'm going to add some more torque to it. It's still clicking. Add more torque. Still clicking. Add more torque. Still clicking. Okay, add a little bit more torque. Add a little bit more torque. I'm going to set this wrench just to the right amount. When that goes up to about right there, I'm going to keep going up. Keep going up. I'm going to back off a little bit. This engine puts out in torque, as I'm reading this, about 102 foot-pounds. Now, does everybody see how that works? 102 foot-pounds, you can read it right there. Watch again on this meter here. I'm going to go ahead and torque it. You're going to see it click again. Watch. Here we go. Wait a minute, let me get it. There it is. It's clicking. Okay? Now, I've got this recorded at 102 foot-pounds. Next, I go to the next cylinder and do exactly the same thing. Click my torque wrench when the needle is at its highest, and the torque variations between each cylinder. For example, if this cylinder clicks at 80 foot-pounds, I've got torque that is not the same as the 102 foot-pounds, and that power balance is way off, or it's different, it's unbalanced. So not only can I tell how good an engine is by how much torque it holds under compression, I can check the power balance of each cylinder this way. This is the unique power balance testing method that nobody knows about. And only you people here are the first ones to know this one. If anybody out there in cyberspace knows about this test, please let me know. Send me a link on it, because I think I'm the only one that's discovered it so far. So that's it for power balance testing in the mysteries of power balance testing.